Greetings, community. So we are live now. Big welcome to all of you joining us for our exciting event on Synergy in the Cloud. So let me briefly introduce myself and tell you a few words about the community. I am Gizem Gür. I'm a senior solution architect, also a co-founder at Souffle and AWS services partner. I specialize in designing AWS solutions, especially for regulated environments. My expertise spans DevOps, security, cloud technologies, and software development. And as an AWS ambassador, I'm deeply committed to sharing my knowledge and insights with tech professionals and various communities. So, I'm going to be your host on this digital scene for the next few hours. Our organizer, Cloud Builders, is an European cloud agnostic community born in Ukraine with over 8,300 developers on board. Wow. So the community has already run 15 various events such as conferences, meetups, with leading industry experts in Java, Python, social architecture, DevOps, and others. So this time, something absolute, unique awaits you. So this event is organized in collaboration with Alcor, an international B2B business that distributes networking, server hardware, and software from the best IT vendors. They are also a system integrator of cloud services like Google Cloud, AWS, Azure, VMware, and many others. So today we will unlock the synergy in the cloud and talk about how AWS unifies forces of Windows and Linux platforms, Microsoft and Citrix applications, and more in hybrid strategies. Our speakers will share their journey and first-hand insights with covering both the technical and business parts of hybrid strategies. Also, we strive to make this event as much as useful as possible, so please feel free to ask any questions that you have in the YouTube channel during speaker speeches. We will choose the most interesting questions and answer them during discussions. We will starting shortly, and I have one last thing to mention. The record of today's session will be sent to your emails in a couple of days, so you can go back to interesting moments and watch them again and again. So it's time to start. Meet our first speaker, Alexei Shud, solution architect at Elcor. Alexei is a technical expert with over 8 years of experience in IT distribution. He is certified by AWS, Microsoft, Cisco, VMware, Hitachi, HP, Dell, and other world's largest IT companies. Alexei is also a certified instructor, Cisco Network Academy. He shares his experiences on cloud adoption with other developers all around the world. Don't forget to ask your questions in the chat during the Alexei's talk. And hi, Alexei, welcome. And I
Hi.
am handing it over to you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I don't know how to start share my presentation. Okay. So, my presentation is will be about our journey in migration to cloud, how we do it, why we do it, and what what obstacles we encounter in this journey. So, firstly, couple seconds about our company. Our company is IT distributor. So we basically not a IT company. We are sales company, and everything's about sales. So not big IT department, not IT not our main focus, and so on. So we are fairly distributed company. We have offices at 12 countries. In each country is a local office with some local IT infrastructure, and we have a lot of employees. At the time, Let's move to the next slide. So about our infrastructure as it was before we move into cloud. Main reason why and what we move in cloud was Microsoft Dynamic ERP. We changed our ERP system basically a year ago. It was 2015 year. So a year ago we changed our ERP, which was actually, no, if somebody interested, Axapta was a name of this ERP, but it was brought by Microsoft and rewritten from ground up and sold to us as a next gen ERP system, which is client server oriented and best in the tech world and so on. Yeah. Uh, and we are basically implementing additional stuff on this repair system and do it in a flight. So it was our main focus for IT standpoint of view. It's draft a lot of resources from our side, a lot of attention, and so on. Uh, Main application again, Axapta. We also had a lot of different other application. Mainly it was Windows application, but also a Linux one. Second by importance, it's a local account and tax calculation software. It was kind of mess because every country have a different local laws, and so we had a different system in each country, and they work differently. They maintained by different teams, outsourced. So uh, it it it's not it's not that easy to support this kind of stuff. As client software, we use Microsoft Office, and as general at that time we use Microsoft Remote Desktop Service for our user to access all software. So basically, user login to laptop, and from laptop login to terminal server and work with everything. It's it was like that. Uh, a lot of custom software because a lot of reporting stuff, a lot of additional stuff for our business, and it was handwritten and totally custom. Uh, and we use network file share for our users to them able to share and store their file, and it was a primary primary storage for users' files. We deny users to store files locally. We also had a Microsoft Active Directory, which were geo-distributed, and not a single piece of our software were cloud aware. So it was long ago, and even right now, cloud aware software is not a thing that you meet in every day. It's just a business software which belongs to servers, racks, and so on. In terms of hardware, all our hardware was, from server perspective, it was Hewlett Packard with a mix of rack servers and blade servers. In terms of storage, we use mix of Hewlett Packard and IBM storages. All our network infrastructure was built on Cisco hardware. As virtualization platform, we use VMware, and we have only one admin for basically 400 users in all our countries. The reason why, because our admin is really efficient and good, and We don't have a lot of IT systems, just a couple of them, and it was fine. Again, a year was 2015. So why we start to think about moving to cloud at that time? A couple of reasons, and the reason first. It's called a flexibility of computing infrastructure and performance. So flexibility is crucial, and it's painful for business to hear we don't have hardware capacity to start new application. Please wait a month at least till we buy and deliver it. And we, a distributor, we can expedite this process as fast as we can. We do it. Our main point to be as distributor to do it well, yeah. And this is painfully for business to hear this. So this is was an issue with current setup. Next was increase in expenses and for hardware maintenance and servicing, and I have an actual story about this one. If somebody remember Hewlett Packard EVA storages, we had one, and it was actually painful for our business to hear about problem with it, because when we start losing the disks from EVA storage, we find out that we unable to buy them in any way, and replacing it was costly and not fast, and we spent like a month about trying to figure out what to do and how to do it, and it was unpleasant experience for business. I saw a pain on their faces when they speak about it. It was terrible. And third point, uninterrupted operation and fault tolerance. Uh, it's it's kind of simple and it's kind of simple to explain that in our case, we actually don't have it. Basically, we are a sales company and we don't focus on IT. So at time being, all our IT equipment were in 4 racks. 2 racks at main office where company was started, and 2 racks of hardware in our warehouse, which was built like a year ago. We own our own big warehouse to distribute all stuff between countries. So basically, we have zero resiliency because no such thing like security or additional power lines or something like that. And it was not good because on working of IT equipment depend work of all our offices and all our countries. If we lost our internet or we lost our power and shut down, every else in every office in 12 countries stop work. And it's bad. It's bad. It's risks, but what we can do with it, and basically. Uh, our business owner decides that we need to move to cloud. And actual quote from our business owner: "I have a dream. One day I will wake up and we won't own any servers." It's actually it's actual quote. So basically, why we move in cloud? Because we were driven by our business owner. So we choose between 3 main paths. One is Amazon Web Services. Second, it's a classic collocation when you put your equipment and somebody else at somebody else data center. And third, you are just renting servers, IT equipment, and so on. Basically, at start, business was focused only on Amazon Web Services and two other competitors. We start to discuss them only after strong opposition from our system administrator. He hate clouds with all his old school sysadmin soul. So it was pushback from from IT. Let's call it like that. And basically, it was all our options. We cannot live like we lived before. We need to do something with file tolerance, with security, and so on. So okay, we can build all our own data center, but it's not a productive way to spend your time and money for sales company. It's not our business, and we don't want to do it. So basically, all three options. Yeah, and for these three options, we calculate TCO. So how we calculate the TCO? It was simple. We take all our vCPUs, which we use currently, all our storage, which we use currently, our network costs, our service cost, and get some ballpark estimate. And by the way, if you calculate TCO for cloud, don't do it like that. Never do it like that. And I want you to write in comments how and how you must do it and why you don't need to do it this way. And for in our case, it was kind of interesting result. Collocation win in our case. Our cost for collocation scenario was like 2 times lower than other two. Why? Because we are distributor and because we have a relationship with vendor, we got access to not for sales programs, which provide a huge amount of discount. And collocation in terms of money win in every possible way. We cannot deny it. And AWS and renting servers in some third-party data center came closely. AWS was somewhat cheaper, but not a big difference to be a decision maker in this case. And I was kind of surprised to hear from our business that okay, it's cheaper, but we are prepared to pay more. And why they want to pay more? Because it provides some benefits. Yes, and benefits from business perspective, it's because they choosing between capex when you buy something and own it and pay in full at start, and the OPEX model when you transform your capex to OPEX to recurring payments. And for business, OPEX is much better. They prefer it and they want to deal with such type of consumption and try to limit capital expenditures at all cost, because it's simpler to plan, simple to do ownership of this stuff and so on. Scalability with increased workloads. And actually, I have another story about this. Not so long ago, our programmer who wrote all our software, find a nice model which look at previous prices of stuff which we have sold, and do some calculation and predicts which prices must be used to maximize profit. And he got approved to try it on our data. And for this, we need a Hadoop cluster. And Hadoop cluster are not the smallest things in the world. And for that, we actually use AWS before. So we don't have a place for Hadoop cluster at our current hardware. So we use a cloud to do it. And it was really nice because we spin up Hadoop cluster, try it, get some results, decide that, okay, it's not what we want to do, and we just shut it down. And if we go with classic road, we must buy hardware for that, and then don't use it because we don't need it anymore. And this is serious point. And we got additional reliability and data security. Why? Because when in collocation something goes wrong, you rely on stuff at collocation side and stuff which perform maintenance of your hardware. And this is risk, and this is hard to predict. And our business had a lot of stories about our own local hardware, which doesn't make them happy. So in case of AWS, you offload all these risks, all this responsibility to AWS, and reduce your needs to maintain something and own something. So if we look at what we must build to move our main workload Axapta, it was something like that. It's a best practice. It looks nice enough, simple enough, and what problem we can encounter? It's done thousands of times. Yeah. No, no, it was not. It wasn't easy. It wasn't expected. And actually, we built something else, our own architecture, our own solution to our own problem. So what we do? First problem which we encounter that our system administrator love VMware with all his soul. He refused to use AWS for creating images, actually. So we find that there are AWS Server Migration Connector service, which is basically VM, which you deploy on your VMware cluster, and it allows you to move seamlessly a VMware workload to cloud and back. And this is actually provides us some flexibility and easy to deploy and redeploy stuff. So we can spin up something at our local data center and then move it to cloud, look how it works, and if we were unsatisfied with the results, we can move it back without redeploying from ground up. And I have a question again for audience. What is wrong with this slide? On this slide, something wrong. And if you write your thoughts about it in comments, I will be it will be interesting. So after that, we had issue with Microsoft license. What kind of issues? We had a lot of licenses which we buy from Microsoft, and we don't want to buy it again. We want to migrate them to AWS, and it was not a straightforward process. So basically, we had two options with that. First option, it was using license mobilities through software assurance. Basically, what this means, you get a form, standard form from Microsoft, you fill it out, and then you sign it at Microsoft local office. And then this signed form upload to AWS, and AWS enable a tick in your account that you can use licenses which you brought before according to this form. Problem with this was it was 2015 year, and our and we're a distributor. We have a contract with Microsoft. I personally can call local country manager, and when we ask about it, local office of Microsoft was like, what? First time I heard about it, have no idea how to do it. We don't have a process. So they, they were kind of surprised that we find out something about that. Uh, so it took us about 3 months to push it over Microsoft and to force them to do it. But in the end, we decided to move with dedicated host because it was simpler for us and provide additional benefits of being able to actually use not only Microsoft licenses which we own, but licenses for other products which we own on AWS. Basically, what is a dedicated host? You buy a hardware wall server on AWS, and it's yours, and you can deploy anything you want on it, and you are responsible for a license compliance on this host. And this is a really, really nice solution for some strangely licensed software, and it was good for us. Next, we got issue with network connection. Basically, we had our on-prem infrastructure, we had our cloud infrastructure, and we need to build some kind of VPN between them. And because our system administrator is a Cisco guy, he wants to have a nice Cisco-like solution, and we find that in our case, Cisco ASA V on AWS is best. Because it's allow our administrator use familiar instrument for building VPN. It allow us to build distributed VPN with mesh architecture, and why we don't use actually Amazon VPN service, because when you use it and you have more than one location, you pay for every location which you deploy VPN, and it become costly. Or you must build infrastructure in a way that you are moving traffic to some your on-premise location, and then from this on-premise location you distribute your traffic between your all other locations. So basically, ASAV for in our case was cheaper and better in terms of maintenance management and familiarity of our administrator. So we choose this one. And again, it doesn't compromise availability because we can deploy active solution and get a nice, secure, and highly available solution. Next roadblock we hit hard, and it was kind of unexpected. So we were sold, Accepta was sold to us as a nice state-of-art software piece, client-server architecture. And main point of sales guys who sold it to us that it's so cool, it's so good that you don't need a big server for Accepta because it had nice caching and client processing features which allow calculate almost everything on client, and you don't need big server because of that. And it was a client, thick client, server application, and database, Microsoft SQL Server database. And we bought it, and we believe in that. And the initial plan was that we are deploying client on our users' laptops, and server up where in will be in cloud. And initial plan was like that, but we find out that somehow client-server architecture in Microsoft terms means that client and server must be in the same network. And if you have latency more than 2 milliseconds, everything's broke and don't work as expected. It was terrible to find out at this stage, and it was really unexpected for us. But okay, we must do something with it. So basically, we had three competitors. We had remote desktop from Microsoft. We had Upstream Point O from AWS, and we have Citrix. Upstream point O was terrible. It was hard to use and difficult to maintain, and even AWS thinks thinks same way because they released new product Amazon Upstream 2.0. RDS was kinda nice, but it was painfully slow to work because our servers were in Irlandia, and clients were all overseas. So latency was kind of high, and working through remote desktop was not perfect solution. And we try Citrix, and it was a winner because at that time Citrix had a best algorithms, best solution for remote work, and it was not the cheapest solution, but when business see a difference between work through RDS and work through Citrix, they decide to pay for Citrix. So we initially pay for Citrix solution, and as a bonus, we got a lot of additional stuff as monitoring, kind of free, built-in Citrix, ability to scale our nodes with client with client's hardware or with client software. So basically, Citrix have a solution that allows you to spin up and spin down your machines automatically, and it was nice and great solution. And after some time, when Amazon released Upstream 2.0, we also implement Upstream as remote access solution, and it's used right now in our head side of IT staff as backup. But our users can choose which solution Citrix or Upstream using. And funny enough, every guy who use Mac use Upstream because Upstream had a better integration with Macs. I don't know why, but this is how it's work right now. Okay, next, we had a problem, and problem was that some our software required Windows authentication, KRBOS, and so on. So without it, our user asked couple of times about user password, and it was annoying. So we need to deploy AWS at AWS Microsoft AD. And same time, we start to migrate from on-prem Office software to cloud offering from Microsoft Office 365. And again, it's drive us to using AWS Directory Service as nice managed solution. In the end, we build nice best practice infrastructure, something like that, with on-premise directories, with AWS Microsoft AD directory in cloud, and with connector to Azure AD, which is right now Entra AD. Nothing new here, but our system administrator really likes this solution. We don't decommission our on-premise Active Directory. I will explain why later, but our solution is something like that. Next roadblock, next issue what we get when we start to work was like our users start to complain about speed of access to their files. Again, we use network drive to provide files to our users, and it was not very fast. So we use AWS Storage Gateway with cached volumes to overcome this issue. So basically, what it do, when files stored in AWS, when it first requested from some local location, it cached at this location on particular storage gateway, and and next access much faster because it accesses local cached file. So it was really nice that AWS had this solution. We already have some on-prem infrastructure at our local offices, so it wasn't too hard to implement this. Next part, database, and it was funny. At start, we use MS SQL deployed by our outstaffers who managed our ERP system. So it was just in EC2 instance without any maintenance and so on. But we have two problems with this setup. First, we don't have SQL DBA. We just don't have it. And second, after some time, base become bigger, and the database backup doesn't complete overnight. So it's become issue for us. So we try to do something about it, and we got a funny solution. We migrate to Amazon RDS service, and basically offload problems with backup performance to AWS, because when we cannot change amount of data which we are backupping, and we need to do it fast. So basically we got two in one. We solve our problem with backup speed. We got to us a nice active cluster with minimal administration, with helpers, with performance insight and so on, with updates seamlessly without downtime and so on. So it was unexpected but funny solution. Fast forward in a couple of years, and we start hit a bottleneck, and the bottleneck because of design of ERP, particularly database in ERP. So database become unbelievably slow, and we don't have any idea why. So when you hit database performance issues, you can do basically three things. First one, you can upscale your database, so just buy bigger instance. But in our case, CPU and memory were fine. It's not our CPU and memory issues. It was a disk performance issues. Second, what you can do, you can optimize your database, but for us it was hard because we don't have a DBA. And so basically, what we decide to do, we start buying more and more provisioner IOPS to improve performance of database, and at some time our bill of database storage became like 40% of our total bill at AWS, and it was not good. So we decide to look closely and find out that actually is problem in that Axapta use database table in database called tempdb, and it uses it really frequently, and the performance bottleneck is this particular table tempdb. So our solution was to move our database on EC2 dedicated instances with instance store, where you got instance with NVMe drive connected locally, and move this particular table to NVMe disk. And storage is ephemeral. It doesn't back up, and if something goes wrong or machine is restarted, everything lost. But from name tempdb, you can guess that it's not a problem for this case, and as a side effect of these changes, we hire a special ERP guy whose sole responsibility was to maintain ERP, to make sure that everything fine, to look for bottlenecks and fix them from software perspective, or tell us how to fix it from hardware perspective. So about disaster recovery, how we solve this? In our case, it's very simple. We use AWS backup service for native services, It's very simple and nice, but it supports only AWS native services. For application-aware backup, we use Vim to backup everything, and we use Vim as a tool for disaster recovery. Vim have a nice feature which allows spin up your infrastructure from backup in other places. So we can spin up all our infrastructure in other cloud, in other account on the AWS or on our on-premise infrastructure using Vim. All our backups, at least important one, are stored at two places. Main storage at S3, and we had a primary, and we have a copy on-premise storage system. And as part of this strategy to be able to move from and back from different infrastructure, we had all our application images which we are using in AWS saved as images in VMware cluster. So in cases if anything goes wrong, we can spin up same infrastructure with same data on our on-premise infrastructure and work in this setup for a while. So did we move everything in cloud? No. So dream of our business owner doesn't came true as always, but we move a lot of things that stay on prem. It's a warehouse and office surveillance system. It's no point to move it, no benefits, only issues. And we left on-prem our access control system to provide access to offices and to SCLAD, to warehouse. We left on-prem our phone system because no point in moving phone system in cloud because we got issues with latencies, with quality of sound in our phone system. And basically right now we almost decommissioned our local phone system and moved to integration between Microsoft Teams and local phone system through Trunk. We all we of course we left all our network equipment on-prem, and a real question from our CEO: why do we need router? Yes, we need them. We need our local infrastructure. In any way, you cannot just move everything in cloud. It's not practical. And we left our servers with Microsoft Active Directory because we have our access system, we have our surveillance system, and both of them requires connect to local Microsoft Active Directory, and it's help us. So basically, that's all from my side. I will stop speaking and waiting to our moderator to continue.
Thank you, Alexi, for this insightful talk. And now it's time to move on. Meet our new speaker who will join Alexi for fireside chats. Alexander Fomin, head of AWS department at Alcor. A little bit background about Alexander. He has over 15 years of experience in the IT businesses. He has built several businesses that reach millions of dollars in revenue just in 1 to 2 years. 1 to 2 years. Alexander successfully implemented cloud services across various sectors, including finance, retail, e-commerce, and even government in countries like Ukraine, Moldova, Georgia, Kazakhstan, and Azerbaijan. So, Hi, Alexander. I welcome you to join us for the fireside chat. We can hear you more about our course experience.
Okay, thank you, Gizem. Hi, Alexei. I've been waiting for such a moment to ask you directly in such a narrow circle, and I expect that you will tell me the truth. What has happened at Cloud Builders will remain on Cloud Builders, so don't worry about saying something wrong. So tell me how you manage to hide from government authorities of offices where our company located that you keep in personal data in cloud. I know the list of countries where we are working. It is not such democratic, the most democratic countries in the world. We have offices in Kazakhstan, we have offices in Ukraine, Moldova, Caucasus countries, Azerbaijan, for example, and I think the most democratic country where we have office is Turkey. But anyway, all of these countries has quite strict law according to personal data. So tell me how you managed to hide. I will not tell to anyone, and I hope guys who listen to us also will not tell to anyone. So it's a chance to be honest. It's a chance to relieve your conscience.
Uh, Truth is that we don't hide it.
Yeah.
It's not so scary as it's look, and from person who speak about personal data and restrictions, they are all feared of local laws and local authorities, but they don't operate on factual basis, because if you start to looking at laws, at what is law say, what is government officials say, you find out that there is actually not local laws always not so restrictive as you can think about it. Basically, first of all, not all data is personal data, and in many cases, in many countries, only a data is, if you like scan passport and upload it, it's a personal data. Yeah, but if you write down name and surname of your customer, it's not a personal data. So basically, it depends on local laws. In terms of GDPR, AWS have a really nice page where it's explained how to use AWS framework to be compliant with GDPR. It's like a step-by-step guide what to do to be compliant, and it's really nice. By the way, AWS have same pages also for security matters such as PCI DSS compliance and so on. So from perspective of general, let's call it more generally applicable laws, AWS got you covered. You always can consult and use AWS expertise to provide as best compliance as you can. In terms of local law, it always depends on local law. In my experience, I have a couple of opportunities to discuss it with a head of regulatory bodies in some countries, and in these cases, it's always about not about text of law, but about of what local authorities wants, and they want to be able to access your data. So in many cases, to be able to provide access to database of your particular application on local ground, like you have a main database in the AWS and local replica async in your local data center. It's completely fine for local authority who oversight such of such laws as personal data storage and so on. So basically, it always depends on local country law and must be consulted with local lawyers. And we have a lot of expertise on this in this way, and we can help you and try to build a nice and compliant solution. So yeah, I don't hide anything, Alexander.
Okay, so thank you, Alexei. So as far just confirm if I've heard you right. So your main point is even the most strict local law, it's not a reason to limit yourself from the variety, from the all the power
Yes,
of
yes, of course.
different services, and it's not a reason to be limited in your
You always
in a
can, even
business.
with
Uh-huh.
you always can, even with some is with really strict laws. You anyway you can apply it cloud powers to your business and provide your more flexibility, more additional possibilities from cloud, even really strict environment, because there is always way how you can be compliant and use cloud.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from many customers, that there are things that only public cloud and AWS in particular can give. And to understand to understand the law, to understand what local authorities want from you, you can fulfill the law, and you can fulfill the cloud technologies that will make your business better, right? Okay, what's else? It's not the end of telling the truth. The night of telling the truth goes on. Tell me another one thing. I know our owners. These old school guys, old school business, in good sense, old school. I mean, they built their business in that times where this border of mine and somebody's else were very strict. They built their business more than 20 years ago. And what arguments did you find for them to change this worldview, mine and somebody's else, and how they come to this dream? What you made quote of the dream, that one of our owner woke up and thought that his dream is not to own any server. How come these guys from 90s they understand what is mine and what is somebody's else? What made them change their mind?
Actually, I don't change their minds. They change my mind, because I
Oh,
was at first opposed to it, and as from my discussion, from my experience, it was this change in mind and setup was from hard truth that if you own something, you must maintain it, and it's a lot of work, unexpected, and if it is not your main business, if it's not from if it's not things that from which you are getting money, it's better to let somebody else to do it, because you will spend a lot of resources, a lot of your time, which you can spend on something that could provide you more money, and in the end you can do it wrong, because it's not your field of expertise. So basically it was changing over time, and we start from company which had all IT and software equipment on premise in same office to a company who boldly use subscription model, and we actually use Microsoft CRM in the cloud as on subscription model, and we are thinking this is fine and this is better because and main point was to use on subscription. We don't want servers because we already have Axapta, which is a great burden on our IT department. And when our owner heard something about troubles with Axapta, with server, with performance, it's always like, oh my god, why? One time he told me like, I want that Microsoft create accept Microsoft Dynamics 365 earlier, and we can choose it as subscription
Ah,
because when we buy our ERP systems, there is no such thing as Microsoft Dynamics 365 on subscription model. So right now we are stuck with our kind of owned by us product, which our business don't want to don't want in a situation where we don't want to be. So for business, it's always about efficiency. And if you don't make money from something, you must spend as less time and money on this as you can. So it's very simple. And for right now, moving into shared responsibility models to SaaS model to subscription models is a way to go for business because it's provide a lot of flexibility and ease of burden. Our owner don't need to hurt about some underlying issues with CRM system in any way, with performance system. He just don't know about it, and he is happy about it. So something like that.
okay, I'm not an owner, but as a head of department, I like this opportunity to put my responsibility, or even to put part of my responsibility of somebody else. And when for results, owners don't ask me, but ask somebody. Yeah, it's very seductive, you know. But what about security? What about this feeling that kind of strange guy from United States called Jeff Bezos or somebody else owns this cloud where my data are? You know, like Elon Musk told when he was asked about Jeff Bezos, he answered Jeff who. So that is the point. Somebody called Jeff Bezos is owner of data center where my data located. How to manage this strange feeling that this data are not completely mine?
I don't know. Uh, in terms of business, you always rely on somebody else. You cannot do business and don't believe in people. It's impossible. So, in any case, you will rely on somebody else. It doesn't matter if it's some Joe in United States or some Petro in Ukro data center. It's in any case, you will rely on somebody. At least when you go with a global company, you can be assured that they have a strict policy. They have they are auditing every year. They have some additional securities in terms of access of data and so on. And less popular and more, let's call it agile company uh, usually skips this part of risk and less secure. So in terms of data center hostings, cloud providers, it's a best choice because they are, it's theirs business. They knew how to do it right, how to provide best service, how to provide best security, best services, and so on. So my take on that is you must to rely on somebody. If you
Yeah,
don't
even if I
rely,
have my own data center, I have to rely on my CIO. And I
at
have to
least
trust that my
even
CIO
even
don't lie to
okay,
me.
let's try. Okay, you don't want to rely to anyone. You build your data center. Okay, your data center must be in some place, so you must rely on data center house owner, let's call it. Yeah, or you can build your own. You find an architect, pay to somebody, and they build for you. Okay, you build it, but that data center without power and without internet is nothing. So you must connect your data center to internet and to power grid. So you already relying on power grid provider and on internet provider. And both, okay, you can be your own internet provider probably if you are a telecom provider, you can do it, but I don't think that usual customer wants to be his own network provider. Same with power grid. You can build your own power station. Became a nice go in an energy business, power plants, and so on, and don't rely to anyone. But I think at the end of this journey, you will forget what is your business about was. You will be in business of building the data centers. So basically at some point,
Expert of everything. Yeah.
yes, and at
Uh,
some point you will start to sell your data center to others because okay, you
as Jeff
already
Bezos
built it,
did
why not?
20 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically Joe Bezos already goes this way, and he he do it for us.
Yeah, he started as a retailer and then he found out that he has too much computing, and it makes sense to make business on this. Yeah, you are right. Too much requires too much knowledge to trust only to myself. Too much knowledge, too much responsibility, too much investment, and it will make me at the end of the day not effective. And it is better to use resources and to use the solutions that are specialized on particular things. Okay, I've been listening to your presentation, and you mentioned such a slide, and you were asking our audience to make comments. You told don't calculate like that. That is server, that is CPU, that is storage. Yeah. But tell me, what is the logic? Yeah, OS is nice, AWS, it is global, it is very modern, but there is a language of numbers. I take a server. He has, for example, 4 cores CPU. He has such 32 memory. He has 1 terabyte disk storage space, and I calculate the same at local data center. There are many clouds, many local clouds. When I take such when I take some place and put servers there and then give it to rent. And if I compare, I can use local data center 3 or 5 times cheaper. So what is the logic? You mentioned that don't calculate like that. You mentioned that our top managers confirm that they are ready to pay more, but explain me from the point of view of numbers, what is the reason?
It's a nice question. Basically, if you do it like that, calculate it like that, as compare servers to cloud, it's defeat point of cloud, because cloud is not static. Whole point of cloud, you pay as you go, and you can scale up and scale down your workloads. So basically, it's a problem of old way with hardware, when you just buy something and it stays in same size and shape every day, even if you don't need it anymore or you need more. You cannot upscale hardware. It's an issue. With cloud, you can, and this is main point of cloud. And most of workload is not static. We don't have all our 400 users login in servers every hour of day. They work from 8 till 6. Some guys work at night, but not all. So basically, we don't need a lot of our Citrix services to provide access to them at night. So we can downscale, and we can do it automatically. And it's already allow us to reduce our cost to three in a half, like that. Just because we able to downscale and don't use at night the same amount of computer power for remote access as we use always. If we use upstream service, it's even better, because we don't spin up minimal amount of instances at all. It's spin up according to demand. So basically, it allow reduce our bill even more. And this is just for classic application which is not cloud aware. If we go with cloud first application, we got nice things like microservice architecture, which natively supports upscaling, downscaling, and real time. We go with serverless, which allow us to run application without services, and if nobody use it, you don't pay at all. So basically, main benefit of clouds, and this is ability to use clouds and use new approach to IT, serverless microservices, which really positively influence your bill, because if you use serverless, your bill will be much less than when you use same application but built in classical way on EC2 and so on. So this is main point of cloud, ability upscale and downscale, and you cannot calculate it and compare with local infrastructure, because local infrastructure unable to upscale and downscale, and this is main issue with local infrastructure.
Yeah, that is the reason. At least if I want to upscale my local infrastructure, I need to buy new equipment and wait some time and buy licenses, buy equipment. And if I want to downscale, I just keep the service at my stock, and they just taking place there, and gives nothing more.
Wow, Alexei, Alexander, thank you for this chat and sharing your insights, experience, and especially on the PII management. I think it was very valuable for our audience. So it is time for our panel discussion, and I welcome Alexei Vlasenko, FinTech Account Manager at AWS, to join us. Alexei has 15 years of experience in IT and payments, while have been working at Visa and Microsoft on complex cloud projects. Alexei has focused on FSI and fintech segments and creates the new payment method Face ID. Hi, Alexei, welcome.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here and be like a panel discussion with my colleagues. And I will ready to discuss cloud, AWS cloud. I'm experienced with Microsoft and as you already said, and Visa payments. Yeah, my focus is fintech and FSI customers, but I will ready to discuss any cloud discussion and cloud journey.
By the way, a reminder to our audience, don't forget to send your questions to the chat so speakers can answer them during this session. So let's begin with our panel discussion. The first question goes to Alexei, actually, but guys, please feel free to put your opinions on the table as well. Alexei, so can you explain how can a company determine the most suitable infrastructure or architecture for its needs? Because there are like thousands of services on AWS. There are different options doing it like hybrid, on-prem only, or entirely cloud-based setup. So which one is the most effective one?
Yeah, thank you for the question. This is really a good question because if you ask me 10 years ago, for example, what is the cloud? We have just two options, like a private cloud and public cloud. In private cloud, when the customer built it inside and call it like a private cloud, and public cloud, it's something outside from the organization, outside from the country. Now this time is different. We have a lot of clouds. We have private, public. We have hybrid clouds. We have multi clouds, and multi clouds when customer use a lot of cloud providers. And this is one of the, if we check some popular IDC or other agencies, they forecast that multi cloud like a future for customer, because customer use the best part of the different clouds. And my suggestion, not focus with some specific cloud, because every customer, every company, it's absolutely different, has different structure, different requirements. Like Alexei said today about the Axapta, and we have business customers because they're not okay with the shutdown process or something else. And it depends from the requirements, and and AWS also provides not just a cloud like a public cloud. We also build hybrid cloud, and sometimes maybe and another infrastructure which help us to achieve more to customers. And I don't have like a clear answer. Okay, hybrid cloud is the best. No, it depends from the requirements. Depends with the situation. Depends on the budget finally. And AWS has flexible options which provide solution which exactly should help to customers and company.
Thank you. So also, Alexei, you went through the like technical aspects, but let's hear the business aspects of choosing the hybrid cloud strategy from Alexander. What was the main driver that you go with this path?
Gizem, first I would like to recommend don't waste much time to read descriptions, to read some comparisons. Yes, you have to read, but try. We have opportunity to give you to try some your business cases, to try some business tasks in a real infrastructure. You will see during the test period the real expenses, and the architects can help you to find the best solution to differentiate what kind of your services is better in public cloud, what kind of your services is better to live on premise. Every decision can be made as a result of experiment, because every company is unique, every business strategy is unique, and your choice have to be a reflection of your business strategy. It's all about business. It's not about to be the most technological company in the world. The issue is to be the most effective company at your market, and you have to choose technologies from this point.
I think one of the like greatest benefits of using cloud is that is giving you this flexibility to do the experimentation. As you said, you can try, fail, like decide on something else, some other solution, some other paths. Alexei went through whole the journey while they are migrating. Alexei, for those who have transitioned to AWS or considering, what were the main advantages that you experienced on the technical side, other than having lots of like new toys on your hands?
Main advantages that you can experiment. Actually, you can have an idea to try this idea in same environment on same data with same amount of computation in matter of minutes and decide if it's work or not. Because with on-premise infrastructure, it's really hard to deploy test environments and try new stuff. In cloud, you can do it on production data, basically with your production infrastructure. Even if you use infrastructure as a code, spin up copy of your infrastructure is a matter of minutes. So basically, you can check your ideas really fast and roll back or go forward. And this is a main advantage of cloud from my perspective.
And how did you decide which workloads should be moved to the cloud and which should be like kept local? How did you do the prioritization on your journey?
In our journey, actually, we were pushed by business to move as much as we can, but sometimes it doesn't work. Or doesn't make sense. So if we see that a particular workload will work better on premise and there is no any benefits to move it in cloud, you don't move it. If you see that a particular workload, you try to move it and you got some issues, bad experience and so on, again, you don't move it, you leave it at home. And it's really depends. There is no, in my mind, I don't have a right framework that I can like a checklist. Okay, if that you don't move, if that you move. No, in our case, as an example, access control system. You can move controller from your control access control system to cloud, but what a benefit from it about it? There is you got additional issue with internet connection. If you lost your internet connection, you lost access to your office, and almost zero benefits. So it doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
it's really depends on type of workloads, on your business solutions, how it can be, because sometimes it's not the technical obstacles, it's your business process which hold you from moving to cloud.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, technical obstacles, I believe number one. And Alexander, what's your opinion about this on the business aspects?
What's my opinion about exactly? Can I please clarify the question?
Yeah. I just asked about like how did you do the prioritization while you are deciding, let's move this part to the cloud, but let's keep this
Okay.
locally.
You know,
Um,
mhm, I can tell you from the point of view of Elcor, as far as our today uh, meeting mostly dedicated to our experience, what is the most important? Alexei mentioned in his presentation OPEX and CAPEX. Let me tell a little bit more about that. That is a huge issue. First, that is a huge headache for CFO to have unliquid assets. The unliquid assets are the big part of this unliquid assets are the old servers, the old storages that just laying at our stock. And for example, if I bought them 5 years ago for $100,000, it's not a fact that I will sell this old equipment, even for $10,000, because for 5 years, all equipment became morally old, appeared new equipment, and if I am on the road of buying the new equipment, I will have a huge headache. What will I do with equipment that is morally old? And using AWS, our CFO has got big relief from this headache, and infrastructure is our operational expenses and not capital expenses. And the second point, every business has its price. It doesn't matter of not every business will be sold one day, but every business think about that, or been sold, or been, for example, moved to IPO or something like this. Business has its price, and business who has a lot of unliquid assets has lower price than business with liquid assets. And the last important thing I would like to say, I am, as head of AWS department and as a manager of AWS many years ago in Elcor, Axapta were one of my main tool to do my job, because I make orders in Axapta, and just comparison in number. If, for example, back in 2018, I wasted a half an hour to place an order. Right now, it takes me from 5 to 10 minutes. That is a matter of efficiency. That is a matter of what every manager dreaming of, to have more time for doing nothing. So I have more time for doing nothing.
That's great. So let's discuss the shared responsibility model after like joy of doing nothing. So in the cloud computing, maybe this is a question to Alexei. How does delegating complex tasks to AWS benefit for like an organization, not just like fintech, but all around the customers that you have on AWS?
Yeah, this is a really great question, and the responsibility model. This is one of the differentiator and pillar from AWS, which help us understand, first of all, companies and customers, how we split responsibility, because depends on the solution. We have just classic solution like virtual servers. When it's very clear responsibility, we just host responsible for physical maintenance, energy, updates, and network. I'm sorry, not updates, just network communication, and that's all. And we have like a less responsibility, and customer have more responsibility. And of course, it depends, and it influence due to the price, and we have the very good price. some of the solutions like serverless, when customer not manage solution, they don't have, they don't need to manage the solutions. They need to just put the data, for example, database, Aurora database, and that's all. And AWS care about everything, increasing, decreasing, powerful and database. And of course, it's more responsibility for AWS and less responsibility for customers. And sometimes it looks like a more price and more, and it's more expensive. But if we calculate some processes, speed of reaction, it looks all the time. It looks like it's good case. And model of responsibility just explain how where customer responsibility, where AWS responsibility. It's like a like a super teach all both sides how they manage infrastructure more efficiency, more productive. And of course we try to explain this model, present together with Alcor, because the Alcor is our strategic partner, and we work together all the time. And I know the guys knows very well, and and we're proud that we have this model. And yeah, I think it's one of the good instruments when we just explain how they manage clouds. Yeah, thank you.
Alexei, how did you relieved after moving some of the responsibilities that you have to the like shoulders of AWS?
Actually, I was in charge of migration, but I'm not a guy who managed it. So it's not I remove part of my responsibility to AWS. But after like 8 years with AWS, our sysadmin is really happy with it. And right now, at start he was opposed and don't like AWS at all. He don't want to learn it. He don't want to deal anything with AWS. And now we have access to every major cloud provider in our company, and our sysadmin prefers AWS because he's comforting for him. And uh, he he believes that it reduced his workload and provide him opportunity to do more interesting and more productive tasks on our IT infrastructures, and just worrying about hardware, changing disks, and running around a diet server with screens. Something like that.
Cool. Thanks for the sharing of not your relief, but your fellow co-workers' relief, at least. In management, there are like often a fear about hybrid infrastructure. So let's address these concerns a little bit. So let's start with the first one. Is it truly complex, expensive, and knowledge intensive? Who wants to go?
It depends. First of all, to build a hybrid environment, you definitely need to have some expertise. But if you build hybrid environment, you already have expertise at least at on-premise, and you can definitely utilize it. So basically, if you already have your sysadmins and you build your on-premise infrastructure and you want to build hybrid infrastructure, it's possible to utilize current knowledge of your IT staff. And in terms of it expensive, no. If you build it right, it will be cheaper than you just go with on-prem. And in terms of how to do it, it's not so complicated actually. AWS provides a lot of nice best practice guides how to do stuff, how to start it, and again, AWS have a lot of partners, us, but in particular, who help companies with their cloud journey and can share their own expertise on building hybrid clouds. So you don't need to do it all by yourself. You can rely on others' knowledge and on others' expertise. So it's my take on this question. Guys?
Anyone else?
Let me add something. You always can start from small steps, and these small steps are not expensive. Try something, something little, something that is clear, that will give you experience. For example, to put some backup at the cloud, look how to manage it. Move some simple WordPress website. Start from that, and you will see, and you will try everything on your own experience. And then it will give you a good platform to make further decision and to plan something.
I also want to add that hybrid solution, it's a good option. So always for customers, not all customers ready to migrate to the cloud, and this is true. And for example, we have, from my experience for this year, we migrate a lot of customers, especially from financial institution, to we call it solution disaster recovery. It's like a backup. It's and usually it looks like you have your main infrastructure and you need to rebuild the same copy of infrastructure in cloud. Sometimes it's expensive because customers, because you need to just copy of infrastructure in cloud, and but of course this is very sustainable solution when you can switch immediately to the cloud. But some of the customer who has different requirements, for example, they have like a 1 hour or two or a couple hours to switch to the cloud solution. We have, for example, elastic disaster recovery solution when you have like an active solution in your own premise and passive and not active at that moment in the cloud, and just synchronize database between hybrid infrastructure, and if some disaster recovery event happens, just turn on this is cloud solution and it's like a wake up and switch to the cloud. And it means that some more economic solution, but also good solution. Again, I just want to repeat that it depends from the customer requirements, what the situation we have, what the current RTO, RPO. This is technical requirements for backup. And we can find and propose good solution for specific case. It's a fully support from my side in hybrid solutions.
I think it's amazing because the on-prem alternative of that is replicating the same on-prem infrastructure, all the hardware that you had on the primary location to like a disaster site, which means like doubling your hardware costs, your licensing costs, plus setting up some replication. So I think cloud as a disaster recovery point is a amazing alternative.
And the last point about expensive, there are a lot of very useful features that are free or almost free. For example, using AWS, you receive DDoS attack protection on the level of infrastructure for free. You can compare with the investment to build your own system of protection from DDoS. And there are many other tools for provisioning, for monitoring, for planning that are free or almost for free. So my personal answer is no, it's not expensive, including and taking into account the value of what you receive.
Okay, so another question is, does it lead to a loss of control with so many like technologies that you have, so many components that you have?
Strange question. uh, Actually, not at all. AWS provide a lot of solution to monitoring your workload and in native way, and actually it reduce complexity because with System Manager you not only can monitor your cloud solution but also on-prem solution, and it's a really nice tool from my technical point of view. And actually, from my point of view, AWS reduce complexity, not enlarge it.
So, Alexander?
Let me answer. Yeah, for me, your question doesn't sound strange. I understand why you're asking, because we were starting our meeting from the point that we have various IT environment. We have a lot of Microsoft applications such as Axapta, Dynamics 365, and many Citrix thin clients. Besides that, we have Cisco applications, security Cisco application, and yeah, it can sound like we have very various and very difficult infrastructure. And as far as I understood your question, you mean is it difficult to monitor that? I will answer with kind of particular thing. Yes, I agree with what Alexei said. Our life became easier, and I will tell you why. For example, we have Microsoft applications such as Accept, and not only. Microsoft applications is always about licensing, and what makes life easier, I don't buy licenses from Microsoft separately. I raise virtual machines already licensed by Microsoft. The same point with Cisco. I don't buy from Cisco their products. I go to Microsoft, to AWS Marketplace, and I make subscription of Cisco ASA in such a configuration that I need. The most interesting and complicated thing with Citrix, thin clients, thin clients. But anyway, we have a possibility to look for this all various zoo, as we call it, from the one point, and that what makes our life easier. Yeah, it's different. It's various. It's complicated, but we have enough tools to monitor from one place all the things.
Yeah, very nice
I also
insights.
want to
So,
add. Yes,
yeah,
just
that
thank you.
was
I just
actually
want to
going
say.
to give you the
Uh,
microphone. Yeah, Alexei.
okay, I'm sorry. Just from my point of view, of course, if you have just one panel of control on premise, and after you deploy the cloud services, you have like a second panel of management infrastructure. You have two. It looks like you have more points of control, and this looks like you have double attention. But honestly, if you use on-premise solution, you have all your services requires different manage panel control or some interface. And if you switch to cloud, it looks like you have just one root access, and you have just one account, and you through this account you control all your services. It depends which situation. Yes, but honestly, I believe if your company move to the cloud, it more go close to simplification, of controlling, because a lot of processes already optimized, and you have some monitors, controls, notification. You don't need to, spread your attention about it. And I believe the cloud helps to simplify control of all infrastructure.
Great. So I'm going to ask one more thing to you, Alexei. So how compatible is AWS with other platforms, particularly in terms of bringing in licensing to AWS, like Accorded while migrating their instances and moving their Microsoft licenses? Can you tell us a little bit more about AWS Marketplace and also technology partners of AWS?
Yeah, usually we not comment some other platforms because we respect our competitors and respect what they're doing. Yes, regarding AWS, it's very simple. We have very transparent price, services, everything you can find aws.com, and or ask me and my colleagues or partner. AWS Marketplace, it's something a little bit different because it calls like a B2B marketplace when any partner, any company which using services AWS can upload their solution, for example, white label, for example, bank application, and use full potential from marketplace, which cover whole world, and resell the products through the marketplace. And this is, standard offer, and a lot of companies buy some solution through the marketplace because it's easy to buy it. You don't need to connect to for example, some vendors, and for some graphic solution, or I don't know, architecture solution. You need to just go register and download and easily pay. And this is why marketplace can be simple solution which help us to customer get faster and easier solution, and for developer companies just easily upload solution and use full power from AWS and resell solution.
Alexei, Alexander, do you have any comments on the compatibility that you
Yes,
experienced?
I don't. I wouldn't say that it's a comment. I just while Alexei were answering this question, I remembered one moment from my life, from my communication with customer when I had nothing to say. And actually, I would like to hear what Alexei, my colleague Alexei Shut, architect, would answer. That was such a negotiation with one of potential customer. I telling him about AWS, about different features, different advantages. And this customer asking me when you will have Active Directory. Everybody knows what is Active Directory. You call me again and we will talk. I didn't find anything to say. Then we have Active Directory, but he didn't trusted me because he is a Microsoft lover. And he has kind of stereotype that only Microsoft Cloud has such a Microsoft solution as Active Directory. So I would like to hear what Alexei would answer on my place.
Answer is same. AWS perfectly capable to spin up Microsoft Active Directory. Actually, AWS have two type of Microsoft Active Directories, but in this case, it's more a game of convincing than telling something. It's hard to try say something that will change mind of such person. But from my way, I want to remind everyone that AWS have a special program about license mobility. It's a special page on the AWS site where you can read about possibilities to bring your own Microsoft license to AWS, and it's definitely possible. There is a couple of ways how to do it, and if you need partners of AWS, such as RIA, can help you with this journey. It's not simple. It's not simple, not because it's AWS fault. It's a restriction from Microsoft side. Microsoft love their money, so they prefer to do it as hard as possible to move to in a way they don't want you to move, but it's possible, and it's after you do it, it's very simple to use. Okay.
Yeah, we are not against Microsoft. We love Microsoft, and will help you to raise Microsoft environment in AWS.
That's a great collaboration of technologies, let's say. So, any last thoughts, guys, before we end up our panel conversation?
I
Alexei?
just, yeah, yes, thank you. Just want to say thank you for this great opportunity, and I just want to say that the cloud is nothing, something bad or something expensive. I don't know. Cloud is always journey, and when we can try it, and all providers and partner networks try to help the company to achieve more and find the best solution for business, and give us opportunity to care about some basic infrastructure in the cloud. And yeah, and we always open and ready to support, and just let us know. And me and Alexander, yes, and this is great team, and thank you guys. We're happy to be here, say again, and that's all. Yes.
Thanks, Alexei. We had very much happy to have you here as well. So, core team, do you want to share your last thoughts?
Let me start. I want to encourage you. Yes, that is the right word. To try. Don't be afraid of cloud. Don't be afraid of losing money. You will not lose money. We will cover your period of test. And take one important point. If you will come to any public cloud platform, including AWS, you will see there a trial period. And I would encourage you, don't pay attention to that. Don't use trial period. Just call me or Alexei. We will give you not trial, we'll give you real infrastructure. What is the difference between trial infrastructure and real infrastructure that we will cover for our marketing expenses? That with us you can you can deploy a real business task and to see real workloads, how they work in AWS. On simple trial version, you will be very limited. So I encourage you to try. Just choose what steps you can look, and just receive this experience. If you're already familiar with AWS, I encourage you to keep in touch because every time appears something new, and we are always ready to be useful, to be helpful. In every country that we are, where are you from? We are present locally in Turkey, in Georgia, in Azerbaijan, and in Kazakhstan. So we have local offices, we have local people. Let's keep in touch.
From my side, it was really interesting experience. Thank you all for your time, for your thoughts. It was really nice.
All right. So thank you a lot for this discussion. I think it was breathtaking, and I hope everyone found it very interesting and got something new to know. Our event, Synergy in Clouds, how AWS unifies forces of Windows and Linux platforms, Microsoft and Citrix applications, and more in hybrid strategies, has come to an end. I want to say thank you for all of our amazing speakers. This evening was full of knowledge sharing, just as I like the most. I hope everyone shares my opinion, enjoyed the event, and ended up with full of new ideas. So thank you everyone for joining and listening us. And as we already told at the beginning, the recording of our meeting will be sent to you by email within 5 days. So I would like to ask you all something. At the end, please help us improve our meetings by sharing your impressions in the feedback form. The team is going to send the link in the chat, and stay tuned for more events by Cloud Builders, and see you there.